Civilization might crumble. Elon says the world needs fossil fuels. On the 29th of August, Elon Musk attended the ONS 2022 Energy Conference in Norway, which is held every 2 years and is the world's leading forum for energy, technology, and innovation discussions. Despite being the CEO of Tesla, the world's leading electric vehicle automaker, Elon made a surprising statement about fossil fuels, claiming that the need for fossil fuels is greater than ever and a lack thereof is an actual threat to civilization. Want to know more about Elon's surprising take on fossil fuels? Stay tuned! But before we begin, welcome to Elon Musk Times, the place to be for news about Elon Musk, Tesla, SpaceX, and today, Elon's take on civilization's need for fossil fuel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and make sure you hit the bell icon to never miss a video. Now let's dive right in. Musk was a key speaker at Norway's just concluded ONS Energy Conference. He stated that his attention was presently on his SpaceX Starship spacecraft and self-driving Tesla electric cars when speaking at the recent energy conference in Norway. He said getting our Starship into orbit and making Tesla cars capable of self-driving are the two technologies I am concentrating on, hoping to complete before the end of the year. Depending on regulatory approval, Musk said, have self-driving and wide release at least in the US and perhaps in Europe. At the energy conference, Musk reiterated that to maintain civilization, the world must continue to extract oil and gas while developing sustainable energy sources. On the fringes of the conference, Musk told reporters, realistically, I think we need to use oil and gas in the medium term because otherwise civilization will fall. He continued when asked whether Norway should keep drilling for oil and gas, I think some extra exploration is warranted at this moment. Quite a statement from the CEO of the world's biggest EV automaker, right? The switch to sustainable energy and a sustainable economy is one of the largest challenges the world has ever faced. It will take several decades to finish, and Musk claimed that fixed battery packs and offshore wind power generation in the North Sea might become a significant energy source. He said it might give a powerful sustainable energy supply in winter. Following Russia's decision to restrict natural gas flows to Europe after it invaded Ukraine, as well as other causes like the drought in Europe, energy insecurity has increased. Shell CEO Ben van Beurden said at the same conference that Europe would need to continue rationing energy for several years because the crisis was expected to last longer than one winter. The CEO of electric car manufacturer Tesla and the world's richest man has previously advocated for increased fossil fuel output. Musk tweeted in March in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine and Western sanctions, I hate to say it, but we need to boost oil and gas production immediately. Extraordinary circumstances necessitate extraordinary action. He acknowledged that such a result would not be good for Tesla, but it was necessary for humanity. Musk also supported nuclear energy and branded those who advocate its closure as anti-human. Musk advised against shutting down nuclear power plants if they were well designed, especially at this time. The largest economy in Europe, Germany, plans to shut down its 3 remaining nuclear power plants by the end of the year, although nations like France, Spain, and Sweden support nuclear energy. Economy Minister Robert Habeck expressed his belief that nuclear power is unreliable despite pressure on the nation's ruling coalition to extend their functioning lives due to the current crisis. Musk made his remarks as Europe is experiencing its worst energy crisis in decades, with Russia cutting back on natural gas deliveries to the area and French nuclear power plant outages severely depleting supply. In recent months, wholesale energy costs have risen to all-time highs. The $278 billion that European lawmakers had already set aside to help firms and consumers cope with rising expenses runs the risk of being overshadowed by the scope of the crisis. Norway, the host of the energy conference, is also going through change. Due to significant government incentives, the nation, which derives most of its electricity from hydropower, was an early adopter of electric automobiles and expected to sell only emissions-free vehicles by the middle of the decade. At the same time, it employs a $1.2 trillion sovereign wealth fund to make up for budgetary spending gaps after becoming wealthy from oil. Increasingly, battery elements like iron and lithium are needed as transportation becomes more dependent on power, but refining these minerals into highly refined forms has limitations. Musk also said that this business must rapidly grow to produce enough cells to replace fossil fuel energy completely. It is not every day that you hear the CEO of one of the biggest electric car manufacturers in the world push for the production of more fossil fuels. Elon Musk has always intended to make the Earth greener and better by cutting human reliance on fossil fuels. That's why it's shocking that Elon's now pushing for increased fossil fuel production. It's more alarming when you think that not too long ago, the same Elon charged that governments were caving to the unrelenting and huge lobbying influence of the fossil fuel industry. At the time, he cautioned that a worldwide revolt might be required to hasten the transition to more environmentally friendly energy and transportation systems. Speaking at the World Energy Innovation Forum in 2016 at the Tesla factory in California, Musk asserted that they would continue to outperform more environmentally friendly options due to the significant subsidies traditional transportation and energy sources now receive. It's been 6 years since he said this, and things have dramatically changed. For one, there's been a pandemic, and the effect of the Ukraine and Russian wars on the economy cannot be overlooked. While it goes against a single principle, Musk's advocacy for increased fossil fuel production makes sense. While developed countries have been throwing money and effort into going greener, it's important to remember that a transition of this scale would be difficult, considering that humans have relied on fossil fuels for as long as anyone can remember. It's worse for developing countries where the reliance on fossil fuel is still as high as ever, and a good number of the population have never even seen an electric car. Elon's statements have probably made many of his supporters and EV proponents' heads spin and explode, but that's what you like about Musk. Sometimes the man is brutally honest. However, it doesn't stop some environmental observers from swiftly rebuking the remarks once they were made. The environmental advocacy group MERS Peter Dines tweeted, "What is truly needed is to decrease the energy use globally by more than half, starting with the 1% in the global north." Fred Lambert, editor-in-chief of the news website Electric, said about Musk's statements, "I think his response was exaggerated." He is just pointing out a simple fact, but if you want to look at it from a policy aspect, it's crucial to keep in mind that to account for the impact on the environment, we need to incentivize future energy production to be from renewable sources rather than fossil fuels. According to international authorities, investments in new fossil fuel projects must be stopped immediately to stop the climate disaster's worst effects. In 2021, renowned International Energy Agency head Fatih Birol stated, "If countries are serious about the climate catastrophe, there can be no new investments in oil, gas, and coal beginning now, from this year. I see a huge and widening gap between government rhetoric and reality. More and more countries are coming up with net zero commitments, which is very good." Even the conflict in Ukraine and its impact on the world's energy supplies, according to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, shouldn't spur additional investments in fossil fuels, calling such ideas delusional. The main economies have doubled down dangerously on fossil fuels due to the energy crisis, which has been made worse by the conflict in Ukraine, he wrote in June. It is naive to continue financing fossil fuels. It will only fuel the scourges of conflict, pollution, and a catastrophic climate. Musk's controversial viewpoint on oil drilling was simply the most recent in a long line of remarks about addressing the climate crisis that environmentalists have objected to. There's no question that Mr. Musk is committed to developing green technologies. He has contributed to developing electric vehicles, solar panels, and renewable energy storage technologies through his businesses such as Tesla and Solar City. He has developed into a powerful voice in clean technology along the road, and both policymakers and hordes of admirers frequently take his advice. But that does not imply that he is always correct. Alright, so what do you guys have to say about this? Let us know in the comments below, or just leave us a fist bump if you like the video. And make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next one. Have the best day, and we'll see you next time.